Thinking back now, I was so young. 29 is so freaking young to do whatever you want. Hi, it's Mia. It's been a while. Happy New Year, if we're still allowed to say that. Can you answer this question? What do you want? What do you really, really want? And what are the reasons that are keeping you from actually going after it? Because this is the first video of the year for me, and I have some things that are bubbling inside me that I hope to share with you soon. But more importantly, I want you to think about what you really want that has been bubbling inside your heart. You know in your hearts of hearts that that is something you want to pursue. That is something you want to create or manifest in your life. And yet you're settling for less. You're not going after it. And there are three big reasons why people usually can't go after their dreams, their pursuits. One, you think you're too late, too old. How often have we told ourselves these? And I have two stories of my own experiences of that I want to share with you. Two, you don't believe you can do it, when in reality you can. But there might be someone telling you can't do it, that it cannot be done. I've been told that before. Or you might be the one telling yourself you can't do it. Regardless, you don't think you can do it, but you can. Three, you don't believe you're worthy of it. You don't believe you're worthy of your dreams. You think, well, I just need to settle for less. Other people can go after the big things, but I can't. I want to tell you right now, none of those are true. And how I got out of that mindset in hopes that it can inspire you to start believing in it and to actually take action towards it this year, to build a life that you actually deserve and that can feel so fulfilling to you. Okay, I'm gonna have to put Momo away. Okay, Momo's in the room. So the most recent example of this that I can give you is when I decided to start this YouTube channel. I was terrified of it. I'm still very nervous about it, and I'm still trying to find its own identity and what I really want to talk about, which I'm kind of doing today, because I thought, well, there's already so many channels out there. There's other people that are talking about the things I want to talk about. I'm too old, I'm too late. I did all of those things. When in reality, once I actually overcame my own roadblocks and beliefs or lack of beliefs that I could do it, I've proven to myself that I can. That's how I'm here. Is it perfect? No. Do I still have a lot to learn? Absolutely. Are there moments where self-doubt creeps in and I feel that it's not worth doing it or pursuing it? Yeah. But that's not the majority of my thoughts. I'm able to get over it pretty quickly. And when I actually tap into myself and get rid of all the shoulds and shed all those layers of the voices that are not mine, if I really listen to myself, do I really want to do this? The answer is yes. And that's why I'm here. And so today I really wanted to address that first point. You think you're too old and too late, because I feel like that is often the immediate roadblock. So I want to talk about that with my own experiences. I am 44, and there are numerous times in my life that I've either been told that I couldn't do what I want, or I didn't believe that I could do it. So all of those three reasons, I've been there, and it's still something that I continue to grapple with and work through, because the growth never stops and the learning never stops. But you can never let that be the reason that keeps you from what you really want to do. So in my first career, I had a 7-year stretch of my career out of college. I worked in the media and PR industry for 7 years. That led me to my own burnt out state. And I had my own life epiphany about, oh, maybe I should start taking better care of myself. That led me to pursue a complete career change of becoming a registered dietitian. At that point, when I decided to quit my career, I was 29. And my boss at the time told me, you are 29, and this is in Korea. And it's unfortunate because she was female in a company where there weren't many female leaders. And yet I remember having a sit down with her where she told me, looking into my eye, and said, you are 29 years old, you're almost 30, which in Korea at the time, 30 years old for a woman was this kind of a critical point. There's a lot of preconceptions about your career should be set. You should be looking to settle down and get married and all those things, none of which I was really interested in at the time. And she said, you're almost 30 and you want to throw away this job that so many people out there envy. So that definitely gave me kind of this moment of doubt of, ooh, am I really throwing away a comfortable career and a guaranteed life of comfort and stability? And it didn't matter because I did not feel fulfilled and there was something else that I wanted to pursue. And thinking back now, I was so young. 29 is so freaking young to do whatever you want. And even now at 44, I feel like I'm still young to do whatever I want. And I see all these other amazing women who talk about their stories and share their stories about going back to school at 40 and 50, starting new careers and starting their businesses near 60. There's so many inspiring stories if we look for those stories. But if you listen to those people who tell you, you're too late, that's not going to happen for you, you can't do it, then that's only going to affirm the doubt that you have. And so be careful on which seeds you plant and grow. You plant your own seed when you decide to believe in one or the other. When you believe in yourself that, wait a minute, that sounds hard, but that's something I really want to do. I wonder what it would be like if I did that. You're planting the seed of belief. Or you can plant the seed of, oh, but I'm too old, I'm too late. That's planting the seed of self-doubt. And then what you look to for examples of it happening, whether you're going to continue to listen to people who tell you that you can't do it, you're growing the seed of self-doubt, as opposed to when you listen to stories and people who have done it, then you're watering the seed of possibilities. And you get to decide which one you want to believe in and plant the seeds for and grow. And fast forward, so I did become a registered dietitian. It took me 3.5 years to go through the career change, being in school, getting the academic degree. I got a master's degree in public health nutrition, and then did the 1,200 hours of clinical internships to become a registered dietitian. And that started my new and shiny career. Of course, there were lots of twists and turns in that career as well. And that's what I've done in the past 12 years. But in that process, one of the biggest turning points that also came into my life was when I went through my divorce. So I went through my divorce in 2019. I was 39 years old and getting out of a very tumultuous, difficult marriage, to say the least. It was a devastating time in my life because I felt like my whole life was crumbling down. I had this seemingly picture perfect life. I kept up this illusion of I'm happy, everything is going well, look at my life. I was never happy. And when we started the divorce process, my ex-husband told me that I was never going to make it alone. And that belief was one of the reasons why I did not get out sooner, because I had believed that. I had heard that over and over again from him, because money was one of the ways in which he could control me. He made more than 3 times my salary and continued to gaslight me on how I would never make enough money, I would never survive on my own. But there came a point where it was no longer possible to keep going, and I'm very grateful for that moment. But it was a very pivotal turning point in my life because it was the point that I actually decided to believe that I could make it on my own. And so the divorce process took more than 2 years, and I was terrified of being on my own. But 6 years later, here I am. I make a living for myself. I started my own business. A year later, I continue to grow and learn, and now I even have some new dreams that are bubbling inside me that I choose to water with the belief that it's possible, that I'm worthy of it, and to not block myself by telling myself that it's too late or that I'm too old. And if any of this resonates with you, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What was a time in your life that you initially thought that you were too old or too late to do something, but you did it anyway? I would love to hear those stories from you too. And it will be such an inspiration to other people who might find this video, who might find your comment, because one of my other dreams and visions I have for 2025 is that I would love for my YouTube channel and the topics that I talk about in my videos to foster conversations with you, and it starts to feel more like a community, and where we can support each other, where we can inspire each other, share stories with each other. I feel like it's so especially needed as women living in this world, where so oftentimes we're told to keep ourselves small, to not be too loud, to not be too disruptive, to find a stable job, get into a good marriage. And not saying that those are bad things. They can be absolutely beautiful things, but not when it becomes things that you put your whole worth on and that you need it for external validation or to feel safe. When in reality, you have everything you need within inside you. You don't need anyone else's validation or approval, but from yourself. That is one of the biggest lessons that I learned. And I hope hearing my story makes you feel less alone, if anything. So that's all I have for today. I really didn't even have a script or an outline coming to this video and just wanted to share from my heart and see what happens. And so here it is. Please let me know if anything resonated with you. And if there's one thing that you really want to share, what would that be? I would love to hear from you.